My name is Clayton Douglas Lennox, Clay Lennox, or Mud, as everyone really knows me as. Life member 24. Look, I received my life membership at the tender age of 59 in 2024. It was a fairly large surprise, something I thought I'd never, ever get. I'd been in a few different clubs through my travels, and it was never anything that I thought would be imaginable, or more so probably deserving would be the word. Born in 1965 in Rockhampton Base Hospital. To Morgan and Jane Lennox, who pleasantly took me on board. I was actually an adopted child, so very, very, very blessed, but they've been my only parents from day one and will always be. So 1965, and then in 71 is when I sort of made a bit of a transition to lifesaving through my parents and my brother. Grew up in Rockhampton, which led me to joining Yeppoon Surf Lifesaving Club as a nipper, in 71. So it would have been sort of 5, 6 sort of thing at that time, I guess. I am a carpenter by trade. So basically what I'm doing is handyman, maintenance, carpentry, a bit of everything at the moment, and then fitting in some coaching in and around that as well. I have been given a nickname through lifesaving, thankfully, through the Yeppoon Surf Lifesaving Club. It would have been my brother and his mates give me the nickname of Mud. Literally, it's stuck ever since. First name Clay, so you can work it out from there. But I even get people ringing me, asking me for Mud these days. Not even my real first name, it's just Mud, and that's it. Doesn't matter if it's job, coaching, whatever, it's Mud. I was sort of basically dragged into lifesaving through my parents, through my brother. We got in the car from Rockhampton every Sunday morning, kicking and screaming, but we drove down to Yeppoon, which is a half-hour, 40-minute drive every morning, and you were just chucked on the beach and you just joined in. Just do what you do. Joined in with the rest of the nippers. My brother was a senior at that stage, so he just followed suit, and I was in Yeppoon right up to the age of 21, 22, I suppose, and made my way down to the Sunshine Coast. I've been a member of lifesaving now for probably 54, 55 years. All pretty enjoyable years, as most clubbies would say. Been a lot of fun. Highs and lows, but a lot of fun. I've not only been in North Caloundra, or Dicky Beach as we call it now. I grew up in Yeppoon, moved to Alex, was in Alex for a number of years. I was a club captain there, I was IB officer there. Whilst I was at Alex, I was on the state panel for surf sports and for lifesaving as well, on the IRB panel. And then to Dicky Beach. I got dragged into Dicky Beach, or North Caloundra at that stage, by a guy by the name of Ryan Rooster Gaylard. He just told me I was going to join, and that was that. So I did a few years there, and then got offered a coaching role at Alex and moved back to Alex. I really enjoy my coaching, so wherever it takes you, it takes you, I guess. Unfortunately, it took me away from North Caloundra, Dicky Beach, but went to Alex and did a number of years back there again, coaching, and off to Maroochydore again, coaching offers back there, and did 3 years there, and then come back to Dicky Beach, and had a bit of a rest from coaching and just become a normal member. It was a lot of fun. Outside of our lifesaving life, I've got a family. I've got a wife, Suzanne, and 3 kids, Katie, Nesia and Morgan, with 3 grandchildren, another one on the way in a couple of weeks' time, which is March. My father had passed away a few years ago, but Mum's still out there, slightly involved in lifesaving. She is a life member of Yeppoon Surf Lifesaving Club, Wide Bay or South Barrier branch, which is Central Queensland area. Queensland Surf Lifesaving as well as a life member, and still has a little bit to do in the background going to carnivals, helping out wherever she can. So yeah, Mum's been sort of a bit of a mentor. I suppose I picked up a lot of her habits, probably getting involved, probably too involved, but getting involved. Yeah, having Mum involved, obviously, it's like anything, you're a product of your environment. And with Mum being wholly involved, she was administrator of Yeppoon Surf Lifesaving Club, secretary of Surf Lifesaving, then become the administrator of Surf Lifesaving Queensland as well. So yeah, these little habits tend to form, or that's your product of your environment. So that's sort of, before you know it, you're doing similar things. You're getting involved, you're being a club captain or IB, whatever, but there's little habits there that get developed, and whether you like it or not, it's just a part of who you are and how you're developed, I guess. You know, when I was at Yeppoon Surf Club, very, very small club, patrols every weekend, as a lot of us older guys did. Be Saturday afternoon, every afternoon, and then a Sunday morning, Sunday out, just with membership. So you just did it. You did every weekend, you don't squawk about it. These days, it's a lot easier for everyone. It's once every 4 or 6 weeks. Yeah, so yeah, Yeppoon was fairly kind to me. I've got my IB crew, my drivers, did my first competition on board, ski, IRBs, boat rowing. The Dear Love Relay was one of the events that we picked up a state medal with. It was one of the harder events to do. So yeah, so the accomplishments there were, that was the sort of starting my life in lifesaving, then moving to Alex, becoming a club captain in another traditional club. That stage had a massive membership, we thought was massive in the time. So I was IB officer there and club captain. And then getting involved on the state panels as well, as a state selector as well, Queensland selector, and made a couple of Queensland teams in the craft arena for ocean assault. So that sort of led to that. And then sort of moved on to Alex, to moving down this way to the North Calandra, Dicky Beach area was just a progression. As I said, with Ryan Rooster Gaylard getting me involved, you just join, because he says you join, you do it. And I still remember I was looking for some club togs at North Calandra at that stage, and the club didn't have any. And there was a pair of old togs hanging up in the showers that hadn't moved for about 2 weeks. They were mine. I just wanted a pair of club togs that had North Calandra with the reel on it, and they were all embroidered, just the green that we always had for years, the club had for years. So yeah, after 2 weeks, they were still there, they were mine, and I wore them for years. And that was a good little moment. It might have been a smelly old pair of togs, but I wore them for a long, long time. They were great. I don't know whose they were. Yeah, so that was a pretty proud moment. Just a lousy pair of togs. My time at North Calandra and Dicky Beach, well, actually it was Dicky Beach. So I go back to North Calandra. Yeah, I was on the Surf Sports Committee as well, and doing some coaching, doing the IB coaching and racing. Actually won the first ever Australian medal for North Calandra at IRBs. It was Ryan Rooster Gaylard, Nicky Francis and myself. So that was our first ever IRB medal within the club. They're just on the committees generally, on the Surf Sports committees and on the board of Lifesaving. And it wasn't until I really came back and joined after my coaching stint, I decided to take on the presidency role. Just the passion for the club and looking after the youth of the club and the direction, trying to enhance that a little bit, so I took on that. That was outstanding. I was very blessed to have an amazing committee. Whilst I was on that committee, I was helping the IRBs out as well, helping a couple look after the IRBs, and then got on the supporters committee as well. Got on there, was a vice president for a number of years, then a president. So yeah, you sort of, I don't know, one of our famous long service life members who's passed away, who is my favourite, is Bob Flynn, and he always called our surf club the Crab Pot. And it was once you're in, you can't get out, and he was dead right. But that's the sort of place it is, and you take the challenge and you enjoy it. Internally, I think everyone should progress, and that's why I like my coaching. I want to see people progress, and whether it's athletically, mentally, confidently, whatever. So I think progression in life is a key, and that sort of, I suppose, pushed me towards coaching, the enjoyment, you get out of talking to people. Someone who loves the sport, love people, love working with people, love the stories, love the old stories, the new stories. I love growth. I love inspirational people, enthusiastic people. I suppose I'm a hard worker, probably to my family's detriment. I'm very blessed to have an outstanding wife who has actually also been a surf girl, and who's one surf girl as well. So she was involved a number of years ago. She was surf girl at Emmy Park, Surf Life Saving Club. But yeah, myself, I don't know, I don't really describe myself as anything, just a worker that tries to do the best for everyone. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm perceived amongst peers, athletes, parents, anyone within the sport. I'm not sure how I'm perceived. I probably really don't care too much. Well, hopefully they sort of see that, yeah, I'm committed to whatever I do. Whether I'm good at it or not is yet to be seen. I think I do my best, and that's all anyone should ever do. But yeah, if everyone sees me as a hard worker, that's all I want to ever do, really. I keep to myself a fair bit with my family. My family is very, very important. We have a lot of time together. No real secrets. As I explained earlier, I was blessed to be adopted to a great family. That's sort of a thing a lot of people don't know. In my time with lifesaving, we all come across mentors, and look, I had one major one at Yeppoon Surf Life Saving Club called Ron Harding, Speed Harding they call him, life member as well of Lifesaving Queensland and Yeppoon. He was outstanding. He was our swim coach, he was our chief instructor, he was my ski coach, my board coach, he was my mate, he'd have a beer, he always had a shout. He was a massive mentor. And then, not a lot until then, till I moved to North Calandra, and I come across Bob Flynn, or Ratso, who's a life member, who, you know, he was a character. He could call it straight. He could have a laugh, but he was a great mentor. He was, I miss him every day. I walk up the ramp every day at training, I think about him, but he just called a spade, and he was a great mentor, especially when I became a president and got on the committees. He could level it out. He was outstanding. So they were the two best mentors. And then obviously my mother, you know, she was always in the background supporting. So yeah, they're the three big ones. I'm thinking about my time in lifesaving, the parts that I sort of have got the most fondest memories. And I probably wouldn't even go into surf sports or athletic performance. None of that. They're all the little tags on the way through. I think probably getting the getting the qualifying certificate. Yeah, so that was under 15s. You got the qualifying certificate. They call it SRC now. So that was it. I was a lifesaver. I was allowed to get on patrol and be a clubby and get sunburnt and wear that uniform. And then 2 years later, my bronze medallion. That was good. I was with the seniors then, so whatever's going on, I was involved in. That was quite proud. That was probably, yeah. And then later on, probably doing the gold medallion or advanced lifesaver, which a lot of us went and did. It was a massive swim. You had to do fireman's carries and jump out of the chopper and things that you can't do anymore. So they're probably the big three. I won't even delve into the sporting side of it. Like I said, they're the little tags along the way. When I got the life membership, I had no idea. No one sort of gave me any hints, but I found out it was John Scott that did it, put it together, which surprised me a lot. John's another life member, a true gentleman. He's a clubby. He's always been there for North Calandra and Dicky Beach. Look, I was completely shocked. Just don't really ever expect that sort of thing. Many of us don't, because I've been to a few different clubs, and you sort of see people in and around you. You go, they're ahead of me. But I was really, really taken back. And I think a good mate of mine who I started Nippers with, Brad Russell, who's since passed away. We did start Nippers together and race together. He was involved in collating all the information through SLSQ. So Brad and I, we started nippers together, raced together, did school together. He passed away in a ski race last year, so so him and John, I think, were involved in all that. I was shocked. I still am shocked. I still don't believe it. Well, obviously I'm fairly proud. Like, it puts me in some pretty good company. I sort of don't even feel almost that comfortable with that company. If you, to be honest, you look at the names on the plaques, on the wall, and the photos. You know, you just don't compare yourself to those sorts of people. I just take it in my stride, I guess. Yeah. I've never been nominated anywhere else. And anywhere else, with Yapoon or Alex, no, never ever been nominated, and would never have been deserved either. The 2024-25 season, which is the one we're in now, I'm presently coaching swim, ski, board and iron. That sort of pulls me up at about 20 hours a week. I'm on a committee, the building committee. Again, I'm chairman of the building committee as well. So we're looking at some, in 2025, we're looking at some renovations. So we're sort of trying to reinstate that committee and get that rolling. I've actually got state medals in surf boat, so D-Love Relay. Yeah, so when I was in Yapoon, we did the D-Love Relay, which is the boat race, and you pull out of the hat and you either get the ski, board, swim, so straight after a row, the old round back Rolex, and you jump into your ski. So I picked up a couple of medals in that event, and actually, whilst my time at Alex, I rode reserve grade under Glenn Cameron, who was our reserve grade sweep. Another little string to the bow. So I did, and then I rode a few years later in 98 with the Alex boys, with Jamie McKinless and those guys, reserve grade for a bit of fun, but we never really got into it. It was just a lot of fun. My most favourite thing about lifesaving is the mates, the people, and catching up on the beach. So I'll see people on the beach now that I met over 50 years ago that I raced against, and that's the fun times. You know, I'll go to Australian titles and our guys will get medals. That's all incidentals. But seeing the guys I grew up with, guys like Michael King and that, he's a little bit younger than me, but we grew up and raced with each other. That's the fun part. So being the 24th life member of the club, one of 24, I guess I'm still adjusting to coming to terms with how my role is within the club. I'd like to think it would be barriers, I suppose, barriers with the youth. And I'm pretty sure someone like Floody would agree with this. He's always been about the youth. Trying to break down those barriers so that the youth understand what the life members are about, and vice versa. I think it's always a little bit difficult in most clubs. There's that air where the life members are there and the kids are down here, and I think my role, I haven't been to a meeting yet, and I'm sure Enid will remind me of this. I've got to get there, but I think a bit more time embracing us as life members, embracing the kids and vice versa. I think that's probably our biggest role. The benefit of being in lifesaving is there's a lot of connections and networking, and really the skills that you develop, on the beach and off the beach through lifesaving is what sort of sets you up for your life, for your jobs, personalities, people management, time management. So yeah, we develop our skills on the beach, our communication. So I think a lot of us clubbies probably wouldn't be in a position in our lives, whether it's work or relationships, if it hadn't been for lifesaving. I think that's lifesaving set our lives up, I guess. Down the track with our surf club, you know, as I explained earlier, I always strive to be better, myself and the people around me to be better, and trying to get that culture within the club that we are better than what we really are. We're always known as Little Dicky Beach down in that corner, but we got a pretty big heart, and trying to expose that heart around Australia, competitively, lifesaving wise, I think is probably my biggest goal. Is really, we're a small club, but we're a tough club, and really trying to get it out there, and even the transition from North Glen to Dicky Beach was a hard one for us to take, but the Dicky Beach does stand out when it gets called. Doesn't matter whether it's a life-saving event or patrol competition or whatever, the name stands out, and I really enjoy that when it gets yelled out. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think life savings really should be for everyone. I think if everyone can join life saving and do 1, 20, 30, 40 years, it's a benefit. And even my own children did it for 1 or 2 years and they still got value out of it. And I think what it teaches you to turn up on time, teaches you skills, communication. I think confidence in the ocean, confidence around other people. I think life saving is underrated as far as what it offers to community and people. Yeah.